Look at that. We are live now. Yes, indeed. Welcome, everyone, to Rise Up Show today, where we talk about responsibility, integrity, service, and empathy in action. And what I like to say, as we all know, you can repeat it with me. Rising up out of our ignorance of what's going on in the world and the difference that I can make. Everyone's here in the studio today. We got Ricky, Iris.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, and Naria.
Good morning.
Porter, yes, thank you for being here today. If I'm sounding a little bit slow, it's because I'm proud to announce that yesterday I got my second Pfizer shot, and I'm feeling very achy and wonderful. I think it's also given me a few superpowers. I'm like starting to see things and feel things. So the show might be a little bit different today. But let's get right into it. We've got Ricky with a story about UN chief following Mali crisis with concern as Security Council strongly condemns arrests.
Yes.
Very, very important topic.
Very important. So I decided to do my talk today on the issues going on in Mali. So basically, well, before I start, I just want to explain that Africa in general, it's like a running theme of conflict there. It's been happening for decades since, they've basically been independent from their colonial rulers. And that is kind of been a problem for most African countries, and Mali isn't an exception. So what's been happening in Mali, as has been happening in a lot of African countries, is there's been a lot of internal conflict. So you have militias that cropped up, but you also have Islamic radicals that are coming in from other countries as well. They're trying to vie for power and influence. And so basically, what's happening now, and the reason the UN is putting a lot of focus on the country, is because they're trying to transition into a stable democratic government. The problem is it's really hard to do that when you're not only trying to form a stable government, but you're also trying to deal with all these militias vying for power in the country. So right now, there's this kind of a conflict between the military who overthrew the government that had been set up, and there's a lot of outside forces, the UN included, who are trying to pressure the current Mali government, which was set up by the military, to transition into a democratic government. So yeah, that's basically the issue that's happening in Mali. And yeah, I think it's interesting. I think it's a case study that can be used to understand like a lot of the other conflicts that are happening in Africa. And I mean, I've got my own ideas on how to maybe address the issue, but I want to hear from you guys first. What do you think?
Yeah, Rick, you've got all the answers, so we'll save the best for last.
Yeah.
My question is like, why do they want power?
Okay, so from what I understand, is because of the way the colonial powers like came in to Africa and set up these borders, these countries. In the way they did it, they totally ignored the tribes that were already there. And so, yeah, you get this issue where like you have a country that uh, is home to like a bunch of different tribes with a bunch of different like perspectives on like how to run the country, and they all have their own interests. And so becomes really difficult to like unify everyone under like one country when they prioritize like their own tribes before like the country. But from what I understand, right?
Mhm.
So I think from what I understand, that's the biggest issue. It's like trying to, yeah, get everybody on the same page, all the different tribes. It's a
Right.
lot of tribal conflict there.
Right. It's like it sounds quite destable, kind of given the colonial powers that were there, and now it's going to take some time to, like you said, kind of form a single nation, like a national sovereignty, and the different tribes groups kind of having some sort of agreement on how things should go in the country. Yeah, it's just like, but why? Why do you want power? It's like this is going to be my talk today, but like, um, yeah, but we'll see. We'll see how things go. Is there any hope? I mean, is there any progress being made with the UN's intervention or?
Um, yeah, I think there's hope at least in a stable government. They had one set up before, um, and it kind of broke down. But I think they're in the process of rebuilding that and getting democratic voting on the way. But yeah, I think a lot of the work that has happened in Mali, as well as other countries that are facing similar issues, has to be done like on the ground uh, through civil society organizations like YSP. Maybe, I don't know, but yeah, I just think that um, external forces like the UN and the United States, it just makes things a lot more complicated. So my hope is that yeah, the work can come from within to create peace in the country.
All right, sounds like a synergy project.
Yeah, if anybody's in Mali, maybe you can think of something.
Yeah, actually, we have a pretty strong chapter, and this is we in West Africa. Yeah, West Africa around. But any other comments or for Ricky?
Yeah, I actually just saw a story of President Macron from France asking Rwanda for forgiveness for like the 1994 genocide that occurred there. And I mean, as wonderful as of an act this is of like apologizing for contributing to this horrific event, and then just humbly asking for forgiveness. Is there anything that like the colonialist nations could do today to help countries develop themselves?
Um, I don't. I feel like the thing that will make the biggest impact is um, inter tribe kind of like activities to try to get the tribes like on a good footing with each other. But yeah, I also think it's a very complex problem because it's not just like, well, I don't know about the situation in Mali, but I know there's been cases in other countries where the tribes are getting kind of like egged on by like outside forces. So I think it's a mix of like, yeah, maybe things in the country that it can do like between tribes to get them to communicate well and function well together. Um, but also being aware and like there's external influences and trying to protect tribes from those kind of influences as well. I'm not sure how you would do that, but yeah.
It seems like if you were to get involved, you'd have to be very committed for a long term. Yeah, there's no simple solution, I'd imagine.
Yeah. I think a lot of education can be super helpful for sure. Education is always like I think the biggest solution to a lot of problems. And then after that, it's like dialogue.
I mean, having studied conflict resolution, a lot of it is a power struggle. It's just like who's responsible for what, and knowing who the players are and bringing them to the table. Having a mediator does help, actually. Someone from outside. And just like even for America, I'd argue that we need some outside help with our own issues. So I think it can, but like you said, like you got to be committed to the long term. Yeah. Which is hard to find. But how about Naria?
I'm just listening to all what you guys are sharing, and it's a lot of cool and interesting ideas. Like Iris brought up, like how about the colonial powers? Like, can they get involved? And Ricky talking about the intertribe activities, or just being able to communicate and work with each other, and also Miilhan talking about a mediator. But yeah, I was just thinking with the mediator, it'd have to be someone that both parties really. Sorry, Max is screaming back there, but that both parties really respect and admire and would want to hear their advice. So I'm sure it's very hard to find somebody like that who might not be from their country but has like really good insight and advice to offer.
Yeah, that's the key, to have that credibility that people can trust you and you have their best interest. And so this is great. And by the way, I didn't mention this, but we are trying to focus on the themes of synergy. So the next synergy coming up, at least, if we decide to keep the date, but the next one is on peaceful conflict resolution. So hence today. Yes. So, but thank you, Ricky. Let's go to Iris on some of our good feels stories.
Yes, good feels, good news. Good morning, everybody. I have 2 stories for you today about being rewarded for doing selfless acts, I guess, or just doing your best. So first story comes from Detroit about a 12-year-old boy named Deacon Ashmore. Oh, well, we could do that story first, too. All right. Well, this is my favorite, actually. So, oh, well. Okay, great. So if you've seen The Office, if you are an avid fan of the show, you know of this episode where Michael Scott promised a group of second graders that he'd pay for all of their college tuition by the time they graduated high school, and he didn't. Very funny stuff. Anyway, this story is like it's a scenario where if Michael Scott did have the money. So in this story, basically a anonymous donor pledged $1 million to the first year of high school athletes if they got straight A's every semester. And for every semester that they got straight A's, the donor would award them $25,000 towards their college tuition. And so these 2 students pictured actually combined received $175,000 for their first year of college, which is pretty insane, honestly. And it just shows that, where am I even going with this? Basically, they had to have the same motivation as the kids from The Office to get straight A's, to get money paying for the college tuition. And like they said in this article, actually, money talks. And it's not just a made-up Office episode. This article doesn't specify if this was inspired by The Office or anything, but it sounds like it was. But it had a great impact in the end. I mean, these kids really tried their best to, get these straight A's, work as hard as they could. for this incredible incentive. And the donor didn't want to be recognized either because they wanted to focus on the kids and their achievements and being able to afford college and celebrating that rather than celebrating the donor themselves. So anyway, that's that story. Hopefully there will be more successful Michael Scotts in the world. The next one I have is about a 12-year-old boy from Detroit. His name is Deacon Ashmore, who received $25,000 raised on GoFundMe last week for his medical bills after stepping in front of two vicious dogs to protect his three siblings. So the story goes, they were biking down through their neighborhood when all of a sudden these two dogs ran loose and started attacking them. So before the dogs could reach his siblings, Deacon jumped in front of them and shielded his siblings so that they had time to run inside the house. He was mauled viciously and then taken to the hospital. But after his story was told from his church and then posted on their local news channel, within a couple days or so, they raised $25,000 out of $30,000 towards his medical bills, which is incredible. And everyone just felt the heart that he had for his siblings and just this selfless act that he did as a 12-year-old, even without thinking, is just really admirable. And so the whole community came out and supported him. There was even an anonymous donor gave $10,000 towards his bills, and a ton of other small donations that added up really quickly, and just a lot of wonderful comments like, this young man is simply heroic, it's an honor to contribute to this fund, and things like that. So, I mean, I guess with these stories, not everyone's Michael Scott, not everyone has $1 million to give, but even just keeping your eye out for the people that are doing their best, like this kid, and donating a bit of money, a bit of time to support good acts and support acts of kindness in this world. I think just, again, every story that I come up with each week is just, it's worth it to be good. But yeah, thank you.
All right. I'm glad we're all on the same page about The Office. This show is definitely not every episode's appropriate, but that one definitely hit home. You know, we have to, be responsible for our youth. And I think that what I love about these stories, Iris, is that we're emphasizing the importance of a ripple effect. You think you helping your neighbor or doing something you might think doesn't impact thousands of people. Well, guess what? It's exactly the opposite. You make an impact in one person's life. It absolutely has a ripple effect. I mean, look at these athletes. I mean, we have a lot of young athletes who maybe aren't thinking about their future, but when they hear this story and they see like, wow, now they have a vision. They have a role model to see. And when I was in 5th grade, you know what I wrote down in my my elementary school graduation? I said, I want to grow up to be a professional basketball player. And I didn't quite get there, as you can tell. But I had a vision. I had like role models, like I guess Michael Jordan or these other guys, and they were able to achieve something. So I just the word coming to me is a ripple, just creating a ripple effect right where you are, and whether or not it's published in the newspaper, it's not necessarily the point either. I'll bet if you trace back to every great person, there was some point in their childhood where someone impacted them and they didn't think anything of it, but that's the kind of ripple that we can create all over. Like, look at Maxie over here. I mean, look at that kid. Naria's love for him, I'm sure, will have a ripple effect for goodness everywhere. So that's my reflection there, I can say. But yeah, any other comments for these stories? Any more feelsies?
Yeah, I just was so happy when I saw that article on giving money to students for getting A's. I was like, my mind immediately went to like The Office. What? Yes, let's go. That was super cool. It's like a real life Office episode that actually worked out. But yeah, then also the other article is interesting. I know we're like talking about the office, but the other article, I think for me it like I don't know, it really shows kind of like a sibling's heart, right, to protect, you know, their little brothers and sisters. I'm assuming it's his younger brothers and sisters. Uh, and yeah, I don't know. You don't see that too often, right? Like, who do you know that would put themselves in front of danger in that way, to protect their family, right? We all think that we can, step up to the plate when that kind of situation comes up. But yeah, to actually be able to do that is like crazy. And yeah, no, I was so inspired by that, and also inspired by like everybody that came together to try to support him, paying for his medical bills as well. So yeah, that's my thoughts.
I'm sure you would, Ricky. This is
I hope so. I don't know. I'm really scared of dogs. Well, actually, funny story. It actually happened.
See?
Where... No. I ran. And me and my friends had snuck into a soccer stadium. It was empty, but there were like apparently guard dogs there, and like we heard them like coming. We heard them before we saw them, and then we just started like running, and then all I hear is like my brother behind was like, "Oh no, I think it got me."
Oh my God.
And my mom was like, "Oh, maybe I should go check on him," but I was too scared, so I just kept running.
Oh my! Wow, you weren't kidding. Complete opposite.
Yeah, that guy is a real inspiration right there. Nobody can do that.
I'm sure you protect your brother, and Ricky says, "No, I didn't. No. This already happened, and I didn't."
You literally hear a blood-curdling cry, and you just keep going.
I mean, I think he just got his pants like or something, but still, like, oh my God.
All right, good. And that's another episode of In the Life of Ricky DeSena. I don't know. You want to add something for Max?
Well, I don't know if Max wants to add anything, but yeah, I think what Ricky says is very valid. Like, we think that when faced with danger, like, we would be able to step up to the plate and do something, but in reality, it's not that easy. Like, because instinctively, we have like our natural reaction where it's like flight or fight, right? So naturally, you want to avoid danger to protect yourself. It's an instinct kind of ingrained into our system. So, but yeah, that's why it's not that easy when you think you can, but if you're not actually put into the situation, you actually don't know how you might react. But the fact that this 12-year-old boy shows how much heart and love he has for his siblings, and even that could be instinctive as well. If you really care and love for someone, you automatically don't even think about like, oh, I'm putting myself in danger. And I think parents often do that with their kids as well. They instinctively want to protect. That's also a natural thing as well. But you ready, Max? but I think I'm sure his parents also raised him really well to be able to really think about and care for his siblings also. I hope that I can also raise up Max in a way that he can take care of others around him and his future siblings, I hope.
It's beautiful. Yeah, that parental instinct. It's there's this movie. I forgot the name of it, but it's like this family and they're fighting the robot apocalypse or something. It's on Netflix. Anyway, we watched it, and there's a scene where the mom is like this normal mom, but when some robots were threatening her son, and she just went crazy and just like became a samurai. It's funny, but like it's real though. I mean that motherly instinct. Better watch out. But yeah, Iris, thank you. Great stories.
No problem. I love bringing these stories to you guys.
Yeah, I know. We love it too. All right, now it's kind of a segue into my Hyojung talk. And by popular demand, I decided to go with responsibility. And, with conflict resolution, what I've learned through my studies, my illustrious studies, conflict resolution and transformation, the biggest question is the power. Who has the power? But what people, I feel, don't realize is that you don't really want power. There's a quote from Spider-Man's uncle. I've got these superpowers now, so I'm more in tune with these things. But this quote, like from Uncle, what's his name? Uncle.
I think it was Ben.
Ben, yes, thank you.
If I remember right.
Uncle Ben saying that with great power comes great responsibility, right? And but there's another quote from a book I read, which I really resonate with. It's the reverse is true. That with great responsibility comes great power. The person who's stepping up to the plate and says, look, there's a problem that needs to be changed, but not just saying it, but stepping into it and taking responsibility, then naturally, if it's something that needs to happen, people will support and empower this person. So by taking responsibility, actually, you're setting yourself up for power. And this is why I always wonder, like, why would people want power? Because with that power just comes all this responsibility. Do you really want to be responsible for that? Now, there's something else, like I think the reason why people want power is because they want freedom, right? And then, so there's kind of a link between these three things. There's this desire to want to do whatever I want and tell people what to do. And that comes from this natural desire to want to be free. But the problem is we don't attach this freedom with responsibility and attach that responsibility with power. So, and this is kind of like a philosophy I'm bringing up here. I don't have an example other than any conflict, whether it's in the home or it's within a country's sovereignty. You got to ask yourself, why? Why do you want to take power? And I think behind that the motivation behind that is really important. Now, I'm going to leave you with this. Again, this is why I love synergy. I think if each of us young people, I guess what? I don't know what young is, I forget what age that is, but all you people watching, if we can feel that, take some time to look at the next synergy topic, which is, I guess the next one is still in waterways in New Jersey, but just taking some time in researching and feeling responsible that as young people, we are the ones responsible to come up with these solutions. We are actually uniquely gifted to do this. Most of the change that ever happened in the world came from young people. Now that might sound hard to believe. You think, oh, it's the old graybeards that are going to do it. I think they definitely have a role because with their experience and background, but the novel ideas usually come from young people. And you can trace this back. I should probably have a whole timeline of people like this. But I want you to feel responsible. But how we address, I think the motivation behind taking responsibility is important too. We should do it from our core, from our unique gifts, and from what makes us really joyful and fulfilled. So that's why we're all a team here. We work together to make these things happen. So again, I would encourage you to check out the Synergy page on the yspUSA.org site. Just take an hour and just start to research this topic and see what kind of ideas come up for you. And of course, I encourage you to apply your project idea. All right, got it, good, yeah, good. Yep, thumbs up. Iris, what say you?
Yeah, every time we talk about this topic, I feel reinvigorated, or I recall why I'm passionate about something or why I strive so hard. Literally, I remember the first time we talked on this topic was on a podcast And this was like back in like December or January. So like I'm trying to figure out my New Year's resolution. And I have it written here. I wrote it down. It's so cheesy, but it says taking responsibility gives you power.
Sweet.
And I look at this every single day because
Oh
of
my
you,
goodness.
Miilhan. I'm so serious. Every day I come to my desk, I'm groggy, I'm tired. I'm just like, why am I doing this? And I read that sign. I'm like, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's why I'm so passionate about sustainability in the fashion industry, or trying to make it better in some way, in a way that it helps instead of hurts all the communities that it affects in the world. And yeah, just taking what I'm passionate about and turning it into something good for the world. Or yeah, just what we're trying to do here is YSP, you know, reinvigorate the youth. Just be like, okay, yes, we recognize that there are tons and tons of problems in the world to solve, but why should I care? And it's for this reason, because if you want freedom, if you want to live in a world that sucks less, then take responsibility for it. Just a little bit goes a long way. And that's what we're talking about every single week here. And yeah, that's you inspire me with that.
I'm gonna write that down. Make the world a little less sucky.
Yeah, literally.
Little less. I like that.
We'll quote you on that, Iris.
I'm gonna write it down and put it on my wall. No, I'm so moved by that. I didn't know you wrote that down in that way.
Yeah, that's like my New Year's, my 2021 New Year's theme.
That's so.
What I do with my life. I'm saying it right now. We can check back in like 10 years from now. I'll still say this quote inspires me.
All right, we'll count the years. Yeah, Ricky, I can tell you're getting inspired over there.
Super inspired.
I know, but Ricky, I gotta give Ricky's the guy. He kept saying, "Oh, I just want the young people's voice to be heard because we have good ideas. We do. It's true. I'm doing this for Ricky. I just want Ricky's dream to come true. That's all. That's why I do this. That's why I get up every morning."
Yeah. We need more youth voice out there. It's not enough. We need to be listened to.
Yeah, come on. Say it. Narya, final word.
Final word. Yeah, I mean, I like how you're quoting superhero as uncles and like how to take responsibility. But yeah, it was interesting. It kind of made me think back to your question to Ricky about why do these groups want to take power, and kind of what is the goal. And my sister and I are writers, and as writers we have to think about all the characters that we create, and as with villains, why does a villain want to take power? Well, why did they want to take over the world? What's their motivation? That's the thing, and having to figure that out to really have a really well developed character. And we just kind of come to the conclusion like they want something, they want some kind of validation, they want to be happy, or what they think is going to bring them happiness. So that was kind of one aspect I was thinking about with power. But yeah, Iris, your quote is very true. If you by taking responsibility, like being the one to take ownership and be the one who wants to see the difference and make the change, that does give you a lot of power and a lot of respect and a lot of admiration and attention from other people, I think. Because if you're the one who's not going with the flow and trying to make a difference, trying to improve things for others and for the world, like people notice and they find that very admirable. So that will be my few cents there.
Yeah, it's like the little boy who jumped in front of the dog. You know, he took responsibility, and look, now he's got all the support from the entire online community. It just even if you're not necessarily equipped, right, to take on that responsibility, just by standing there in that position gives you so much. But again, do you really want that power is the question, and do you really want that responsibility? But no, that's so deep. I love that point. Just yeah, the superheroes and the asking why. That's really where it comes down to. Even the supervillains, right? They have some kind of twisted reason, but they have something. And so that's what we all have in common. We all just want our desires to be met, our dreams to come true. So if we can connect to that, I think we can find the answer. Narya, we got some announcements, right? Let's close with that.
Yep, and I think Ricky gave us a quick preview just for a few seconds. All right, so you guys all know that the New Jersey Synergy was supposed to be coming up this Saturday. So because of the dates with like a lot of finals going on for our target groups of students, we realized that it wasn't the best time to hold a Synergy event. So we're actually postponing it till October 2nd. So at the start of the next new school semester. So the submission deadline is now September 25th, with the event happening on October 2nd. So I have to excuse Max. This right now is nap time.
I don't see him at all.
Yeah, and then we will be having other Synergy events, but like Miilhan said, we're actually rethinking when the best dates will be. But yeah, the topics are going to stay the same. So our plan is to have one on peace and peaceful conflict resolution, another on climate action, and another one on quality education. So yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah, and we love to partner with your school. You know, if you have, I mean, even not just necessarily environmental groups, like we love to just work with you and getting your school, you know, a chance for even the student body to submit projects. And I think this can have a huge impact on responsibility of young people and kind of awakening their potential. So thank you for watching today. I think that's a wrap. We'll see you next week, everybody.
Thank you. See you.
Bye.